Good morning. Everything's working, I think. Yes. Let's just see. Okay. Perfect. Let's go. Okay, where were we yesterday? Okay, let's just open up the C# project. So I did come back yesterday afternoon. I technically shouldn't have because I had other work to do, but I wasn't feeling it, so I did this instead. Okay, so there was a couple of problems yesterday when I left off. Right, one of the problems were that, the character selection was still a bit wonky. It was almost done. It was almost working. The whole slot, the idea with the slots was coming together, right? Oh, wait. Before I continue too far, let's just get the timer going. I think I forgot a bit of this. I forgot to start it, I think, at some point yesterday. That's fine. Okay, but it was still a bit wonky. It wasn't exactly doing what I was wanting it to. Especially when you were selecting the default slots for the characters. So I made it now so that whenever you click on one of the default slots, it'll put the character that you have selected into its own default slot. So these slots are what they are. Your character won't go away and do some other funny thing. They will stay in their default slots. Okay, so that's the one thing. Then I made it possible so that you can exchange characters between slots, right? Where did I do that? That would be inside of the Level Prep UI. Somewhere like... this is all now not you need it anymore. Yeah, so slot clicked. Yeah, so here you can see I also added the rune, right? So obviously with this whole slot clicking thing happening, the rune selection was broken. So I fixed that selection process. So now if you have a selected rune, the slot click event or callback will first try and give something a rune, right? If you did click on something, that is, while you have a rune, right? And once you've done that, it returns from the function, because I assume your intention when clicking on someone with a rune is to add the rune to that someone and not much else, right? I might... yeah, maybe that's not ideal. Maybe I do want it to also go and select the character that the rune was dropped on. Yeah, maybe I let it go through That's not a big deal. That's an easy one if I want to go and fix that. Okay, but now, okay, all this works also. I just added this part for the default slot. So it checks if we are working with default slots or if I clicked on any one of the default slots. Then I'm assuming the intention was to return the selected character to its own default slot. So it just resets that character, puts it in the default slot. Okay. Okay, I think that's the most of it. Oh, and then the runes. I changed the rune system so that it has what does it do? So I think what it does. Okay, so the runes now are sent via a tuple, which has an integer as an ID and then the rune item SO. And the idea with this was that, well, I started having problems because I was struggling to draw the rune UI when the runes weren't unique, right? And I just didn't figure it out. I couldn't figure out how to do that, so eventually I was just like, okay, you know what? I know I can intuitively imagine how this would work if the runes had an ID. So I gave them an ID, and now it just works, right? Because now we can actually look for the ID and only add new runes, and not all the runes every single time. Because this was still giving me a bunch of errors. And then what I did, which was kind of nice. Okay, so this is just a kick character from next level. This is when a character dies, then they will be kicked into their default, but not anymore. So what I do now is when a character dies, it'll actually check whether or not there is space in the revive station, and if there is, it'll put the character inside the revive station automatically. But I also made it so that the revive station, so previously, so you might remember, so if we go to our waiting room, so the revive station would normally just heal characters, right? But now it would also check, after it healed somebody, it'll just check if it has an empty slot and we have a dead character somewhere. It'll actually grab that character and put it inside the empty slot. It just feels nice if that stuff is automated, right? Because, I mean, eventually we'll get to a point where, you know, you don't actually have 2 slots available at all times. You might just have 1 because you have a low-level revive station. So if you only have 1 slot and you have 2 or even 3 dead characters, it would be very nice if you could simply just you put 1 character, the one you prioritize, to revive, and then it will just grab any other character that it can find that's dead and sitting in this block over here. That feels very nice. It's a nice quality of life thing. Okay. So that all works as far as I remember. So we can give it a go. So we'll grab a couple of runes so that you can see that the runes now work. Then we'll let a couple of characters die. Whoops. Oh, wait, I made a reference somewhere. I remember now. What? Okay, that's new. I literally didn't touch this. Why is it? Okay, so it's trying to get this on update inside the player state machine. Okay, this is new. This normally didn't happen. So the selected character game object is not a thing. Okay, so if select a character game object is equal to null, just return false. Otherwise, we return that. Okay, maybe that's all we need. It's so weird. I haven't worked on this in days. I just decided, well, flipping days, probably more than that. I haven't had this issue for very long. Or ever. This is a new error that it decided to figure out this morning. I don't understand it. It's fine. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, so we get our character, we start. Okay, so let's just take the Robin, because she got the 500% luck, so we can get a couple of these totems and the goodies inside. It's a green one. Just grab it. Okay, great stuff. I don't really care about this, so let's just click. Okay, so we got a rune, as you can see. Okay, yeah. So if you click on anybody else's portrait over here, it kind of just deselects everything, which I'm not sure if that's exactly what I wanted, but it's what I did. But we can still do this. Okay. And what does this thing do? Reduces armor, gives it more dodge chance. Let's give that to the duck, so you can see that it is on the duck now. Six damage. That's ridiculous. Oh, I should have taken the Robin. Just so I can get more... Well, I mean, anybody can get totem runes, but the ducks obviously... the Robin is pretty much guaranteed to get them. Well, we can make this guy die quickly, I guess. See if there's enough. Okay, there you see he died. Immediately went into the revive station. Okay. Okay, let's grab the Robin. Let's go farming for some more runes. What? That's a daylight robbery. Okay, cool. We got very little. Okay, so we have 2 more of these, and previously if you just left them here, they would duplicate themselves. That's back in the day when we had the bug, and then the bug changed, and it kind of went, oh, why did the owl change positions? Oh, wait a minute. Is this thing... I think I know why the owl changed. Is it at least healing the owl? No. Yeah, it seems like the respawning mechanism is now broken. Okay, let's just start again. I just want to see. Yeah. Yeah, it's broken. Okay. So I think what it did now is it's kind of shuffling the owl back and forth. So what I did was I let it check. Yeah, that's kind of annoying, isn't it? Okay, so maybe there's a better way of doing that code. Maybe a loop is not a good idea there. Could be. Yeah, he's not healing at all. I think maybe if we have more people inside. Okay, so now we have 2. Let's see if he starts to heal now. Yes, he does. Okay, so I know what the reason is for that. So in my code, let's go to our waiting room and let's look at the revive station. What have I done? Okay, so when we apply the room effects, right, what it is essentially doing is it's going through the slots and it's checking if the slot's empty, right? So first of all, we just assume the slot's empty. Then we go through the characters and we're like, cool. If the character slot is equal to the current slot, we make slot empty is false, right? And then it should do this at least. It should still try and heal him. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna redo this. I wonder if we could do... Okay, so when we change current slots, right? It would kind of be nice if... So let's go look at what this looks like, right? So current slot becomes new slot. So what if we go to our current slot? So we still change it, but what if we did something like current slot? So I'm just going to type it out. It's not going to work, but current slot dot empty. So something like this. True. So we make the current slot empty. And we do new slot dot empty. Okay. So then any current slot, any slot that we exit, right? Because that's what we're doing. We're exiting the current slot. We're getting a new slot and we're filling it. anytime we exit a slot, the current slot, while the slot that we exit becomes empty unless a new enemy, somebody else is going into the slot. Right? That is as long as I use the change current slot every time a slot is clicked. So we can just check. Now, when we click a slot, so let's just go check. Okay, that's just for the rune. Okay, this is when we select a character. Okay, so that doesn't really do anything, but if the character is not null, then we change current slot. Okay, so we should, this should work, right? Now, because I'm running into this problem sometimes where I kind of want to know if the slot is actually full or not. So if I just make a public bool empty, so when we create the default room slots, we want to go current slot dot empty equals false, right? Because we add a character. Okay, this is now all referring to the default slot, which is okay. Okay. So something like that. Maybe that'll help me. Like I said, the main reason is sometimes I want to just know if the slot's full or not. I don't know if this is going to be super useful for many things, but what this helps me do over here, for instance, is just to check quickly if the slots are empty or not. So we don't need this boolean. We don't need this. Okay. So essentially what we can do so let's see. So, and in this case, it might also be nice to not have a for each slot. Right, and what that might do for us, so let's see. So what we can do is we can go through the characters and we can check both slots. Right? Yeah, so this could technically be if it's equal to slot 1, or, right, if you think about this, or the character dot current slot is equal to slot 2, right, because we only have 2 slots, so we just check, is it slot 1 or slot 2? If it's at any one of those 2, then we can have the respawn timer work, and then if that specific character is not dead anymore, we just change the slot to the default slot. And when we change to the default slot, these 2 slots would change to be empty. Right? Okay, and here what we could do is, after this if statement, we can do the following. We can just check, so for each character, we can do something like this. So let's just get rid of this. And this should work better. So first of all, we go through all the characters. We check if it's in any one of the 2 slots. We try to heal them. right? And for that specific character, we kind of just end the story there, right? We always break out of this loop. Well, no, we just continue, right? Which would mean that we... How does continue work? Continue says we skip the rest of this loop and we just start with the next, right? That is what continue means. Yeah, if I understand that correctly. Okay, then we go here. If for some reason the character that we have selected isn't in one of the two slots, right? We come here. And now we have to check if that specific character, which is not in any of the slots, if it is dead. And if it's dead, we can check. So we get a character, it is dead, but it's not in one of the two slots. Then we can kind of just do a very simple thing that says if slot 1 dot empty. So if slot 1 is empty, right, because this thing just says if it's empty, so if that is true, right, and I believe this is the case. We should maybe make it so that they are empty by default. Yeah. So when we create them, we could say that empty equals true. So they start empty, and then we can add things to them. Right? So if slot 1 is empty, yeah, and I just want to check again. So when we click on the slots, so if we don't have a character selected, it doesn't matter, then we just select a character. But if we had a character selected while clicking on a slot, it'll do change current slot. If it's a default slot. Otherwise, it'll do... Well, we'll check if the character, if it takes dead characters, we'll go through it. If the current slot is equal to slot for any of the characters that we have. We do change character slot, change character slot. So both of them would go through the change character slot, and the change character slot does do... I'm just making sure. So on change character slot, the current slot will become empty. The new slot will become full. So it's false. Okay, so that all works. So if slot 1 is empty, then we do ch dot change current slot to slot 1. And then I think, so if that's the case, we can just continue, right? So we can get out there. And then we can also do if slot 2 dot empty. Okay. And then we don't need to continue there because we're at the end of the loop anyway. Okay, so this is kind of the idea. So they're not going to jump around necessarily, right? Because we break out. If we see that the character is already in one of the two slots, we don't have to go and put him in any of the other slots, right? We just get out of there. Okay, so I think this is better. There's also another one we could check much more simply now. And that is the yeah, so here we go through all the characters and we check the current slot. Yeah, so this one we might leave. So what I was thinking is we could do if next level slot. Yeah, we could do a very simple if. So we can simply go if next level slot dot empty. No. So if the next level slot is empty. Okay, so if it's not empty, we can check all this, right? Then we can go. If we know it's full, we can go ahead and try figuring out which character it is, right? Otherwise, we just skip this and we just go here and we say like, yo, we don't have a selected character, right? So we can check that. Okay, so let's go try and break this. See if it breaks. Okay, so we should be able to do all of this stuff. Clicking around, so if I did that and I try to start level, it tells me you have not selected a character. Okay, yeah, that's interesting. If I do this now, it works. Okay, so the guards work. Okay, the runes work. I'm sure of it. Yay! Okay, she gets put into slot number 1. So let's just take the chicken for this. Okay, so let's just pause quickly and go click on the Robin. So she should be, yeah, her respawning is working, so she's not jumping between the slots like the owl was previously. Okay. Yep, still sitting there. No need to jump around. Can't do anything there. We can move her manually if we wanted. But yeah, we don't have to. Ah, damn it, I walked into the flippin' debuff zone as I shot there. Oh. Okay, cool. So she got revived and she got some experience. Okay, fantastic. Okay, so here's the next part. Now we need to figure out okay, do we want to continue with the rooms? I think so. I think the rooms are fun to work on. So the revive station is working well. It'll automatically put characters in and kick them out, etc., etc. So that's nice. So that works, and I'm happy about it, right? The next part that I think we should try and figure out would be the observation deck. Right, so the idea with the observation deck is that the characters that are in the observation deck, right, can, well, a few things can happen to them. They will be able to gain experience because they are observing the fight, right? And they would also be able to, let's say, passively gain health, right? Because remember, they continue to regen health even if they are not in the fight, right? So if you have any health regen, you will regen health if you are in the observation deck, right? That's the idea. Or if you are not fighting, based on your health regen, right? So I think if you're in the observation deck, that should be a thing. Now, you could also say that some of the other rooms might be more efficient at regenerating your health, and that is fine. We could definitely make that claim. Yeah, but I think you need to be in the observation deck just to have the basics happen, right? The gym, how I want to work with the gym is... The gym is kind of going to be this place where you go to gain more stats, right? So if you go to the cardio section, you might get more movement speed. The weight section might give you more health or armor or whatever the case might be, right? So you gain stats by staying in these areas or in these rooms. But there's no window, right? So you can't actually see the fight from the gym, which means you don't get any passive experience. You get some skill points, well, not skill points, but you gain some. Well, it's kind of like skill point, right? But your skill level will increase depending on what section of the gym you are in. However, you will not. Yeah, you will not gain experience, and also since you are in the gym and it's strenuous exercise, right? You are also not just going to be passively gaining health, right? So the way it's going to work is when you're in the gym, you don't get experience and you don't get health, but you get other benefits, right? If you're in the observation deck, you gain experience, right, from just sitting around, and you can also regen some health, right? Because you are in a nice, comfortable chair, relaxing. So your health is regenerating, no problem. Yeah. And then all the other rooms are going to do their own thing. I don't know. They're each going to be unique anyway. So we'll get to them when we get to them. But those are the basic idea between these two, at least. So our observation deck, we need to figure out what we want to do with it. Right? How do we want to approach this? Just want to see here. So we've got a label. Okay. So we got the 3 slots, so I think we should just get the slots working. So let's just get the basics of the room going before we can do the room effects. Let's just get the basic clicking and putting a character inside the room. Now this should be fairly straightforward, right? Because I've built basically everything for these rooms. So the first thing is, so we just have to go to the room. Now, okay, so the observation deck needs to extend the room class. Not like that. That is not at all how we have to do this. Like that, right? So the observation deck extends room. Then we need a... Yeah, we need this. Okay. Just to create the observation deck, we need to make sure that we give it its parent and the level prep UI, like we do here. And dead character required, I think, will be false by default, right? So we don't have to worry about that necessarily. Okay. So that's all sorted. Now we don't need to worry about that. That's already set by the room itself. Now, for our slots, what we need to do here is just change it to the type slot, right? So it's going to be a level prep UI slot. So let's just make sure we make sure our 3 slots are in fact those types of slots. Okay, then obviously when we create the slot, we need to do something like this. Let's just see, takes dead character equals true. So it seems like I did this for the room, but I kind of left that out eventually. Okay, but so the slots we need to do like this. Okay, so let's just copy that. Yeah, so this would be connecting the elements. So we can get rid of this bit. Okay, unfortunately the slots are called the same thing mostly. So we can just copy, paste, and this would just be slot 2. Alright, so we add slot 2, and that's slot 2, and then this one would be slot 3. Okay, so that's basically just connecting the elements for the slots specifically. Now, there might be other things that I need to connect eventually, but for now, we only have slots, so that's all we connect. So that should work, and then that is actually potentially all we need to do with the slots. If we create slots and they are connected, this should be fine. So we create the slot, we add it to the list. We have the level prep UI, all that good stuff. Yeah. So our observation deck should be fine. Let's just see if we create it correctly. Yes. Okay. So when we create the observation deck, we just need to get the root. So we pass it through like that now, and we do level prep UI as well. So now they've passed. We don't need to change the parent again. And then we just need to connect the elements. And that's it. So the room, the observation deck should work now. Okay. I believe it's as easy as that, and that's kind of what I was thinking. We could also do the gym. Let's just do the gym as well. So the gym is also a type of room. Right, so we extend the room. We don't need to define the parent there. So the gym is a bit more interesting. So it's got sections and slots. Yeah, so we just need to, when we connect elements, we need to get the sections, because that's how we get the slots. Yeah. Okay, so but that's fine. Okay, we essentially just want to do one of these with the slots. Or let's just make sure the slots are actually level prep UI slots so that everything works. Okay, so now those are broken, but then we can just do basically this. Right. Okay, so the slots are named differently here. So it's a C slot. But I think it's still slot 1, slot 2. So we just need to give it its parent. So yeah, it would be the cardio section in this case, right? So something like that instead. We pass through the level prep UI and the cardio section in this case. Slot 1. Okay, so this would be C slot 2, C slot 2, and slot 2. Okay, so that's it for the cardio slots, and then the weight slots. We kind of do the same thing, right? So let's just copy and paste that. And now this is just W slots. And we need to get it from the weight section. There we go. As simple as that, right? Okay, so now, oh yes, we still need to do a constructor. Okay, and it doesn't really do much. It just does whatever the base does, which is all this stuff. So the base got that handled. Yeah, and then we just need to fix this. So the first thing is the root visual element. So let's just grab that, stick it in there, and the level prep UI, and then we don't need to set the root like that, and we do run connect gem elements. Okay, so now the gem and the observation deck should allow us to put characters inside. Okay, let's go see if it works. Okay, so let's say I want her there, I want you in the weight section. Okay, that's unfortunate. I want you in the cardio section, and I want you on the observation deck. Okay. So it kind of works. But unfortunately, there's now again issues with the damn... the block's growing. Crying out loud. Okay, well, let's just check if I start the level. We don't have any problems. So let's die, actually. Yeah, so that's fine. Now she's over there, and I can't put her in any of these, right? So, but I can take him, and I can switch places. Put them there. Okay. So that works. Sort of. Okay. So my main problem is just the the UI again, doing what it likes, making my life difficult. So let's just see. Okay, so first of all, okay, so the observation deck didn't grow. The gem did grow for some reason. Right, so if we go look at the gem, it grew. Why? Guess it's because of this. The revive station, yeah, it doesn't grow. It is just a size. So I made the gem grow to fill the space. Oh, you know what? If I make the gem grow, that's fine. I just need to make it so that the revive station cannot shrink. Okay, this one doesn't grow. This one does grow. Okay. So then this one shouldn't shrink either. So if ever I have one that grows, the others shouldn't be able to shrink. Essentially, okay, so that'll help somewhat. And then inside of these, so the weight section and the cardio section, they can both grow. Okay, so let's make it so that the cardio section cannot shrink. The weight section. Wait. Okay, the weight section cannot shrink, and the cardio section will grow. Yeah, what if I just make it so nothing can shrink? As soon as I switch off... Wait a minute. So they can all grow, but these guys are just stuck at the size as they are. Okay, let's make this label a fixed size. Like 45 pixels, something like that. Let's make the content centered or something. I don't know. Align self, no. How do I make this label go where I want it to go? Oh no, that's not the problem. The label, I need to change the text position. There we go. Okay, and then we can make... well, if we make this label a percentage instead, maybe that'll be better for me. Let's see, percentage. So no, like 1%. Nope, 1% is too little. Okay, 7. Let's make it 8%. So we have 92% left. So that must mean that this one is going to be height, a percentage, 92 over 2. 46%, and you would be height 46%, turns out. Okay, so now at least I know they are the same size, because that was bugging me. Okay, so both these sections are now exactly the same size, as far as I can tell. Okay, so this one. Okay, and we also have some shenanigans with some other sizing. I guess it's because this guy has margin. Okay, that's better. Okay, so now everything fits, and it shouldn't... None of these should grow or stretch or do anything funny. It says they'll grow. I wonder if we say 0.46 for the growing. No, so it's a 0 or a 1, essentially, right? As far as I understand this. Oh, we can make it a percentage. Oh. Okay. So if we allow shrinking for both of them, and we make this percentage 46, okay, so they are now the same size always. Something like that, right? Okay, hopefully that works better. So let's see these ones. Okay, so the problem here is they are constrained in this direction, but not in the other. So they width. Okay, so again, let's make this 8, and let's get rid of the margin. Right, so it's a true 8%. For the observation deck. Okay, I see now. This is going to be a smaller 8% than this 8%, which is kind of annoying. So let's... that's going to be annoying. So we should make all of these room... Yeah, we should make all of these room labels the same. Room name. Okay, so room name. So let's do unset all. Let's do unset all. I don't think I changed anything for this one. Or this one. Okay, so room name that's you, and you, you, and you. Okay, so now all of them are the same. Wait. Crying out loud. Room name. Okay, so let's go. So the room name. So this is all the labels, right? So let's just go 0, 0. So now it doesn't have any padding or margin. Right. Okay, so let's add back some padding. So let's make it like 5 all around. Something like that. So they all are the same. Let's make their size 5. So if all of them have the same size. Okay, so that looks terrible. Okay, I make it like 40. 40 pixels. Okay, let's just go back to the gym. So the gym is still bothering me. Because I don't think... So if I make this 50... 50, right? That means they both just go to 50%. So and if I unset that... And I just unset this one. Now they'll be exactly 50% of the available space. I believe they are the same size. Okay. So that's okay. Okay, now let's go to these slots. Okay, so these 3 slots need to be... okay. So we could do a... You know what, let's just add a selector. This is going to be the observation slots. Because this is going to be annoying. So I'm just going to give them another thing to look at. Okay, so now if I change the height for these... Okay, so that's what's happening. Okay, if I change it to a percentage, obviously that's too much. So something like a 28% looks good, I guess. If we make this a percentage now, we make it 28. Okay, we make it... Okay, we allow both of that. We unset this. So now they'll grow to be 28% each. Well, I guess this doesn't really matter as long as they are the same. Yeah, so at some point it doesn't matter, but there is a point at which they start to grow too big. So we limit it to like 28%. Now we can even limit it to like 27. Okay, so they will stretch and grow and full, but they won't go further than that. That's always the... Well, no, I actually don't know how that works. Okay, but let's go check what this looks like. So I might want to split the observation deck in 2, actually, if I think about it. Yeah. Use this space for something else, right? Okay, let's just see if any of this means anything. Okay, so if I put you into the gym, okay, the gym is not being distorted anymore. Neither is the observation deck. Okay, fantastic. Even if I put more. Cool. So we can have those 3 in the observation deck. This guy in there. Okay, he's not dead, so he's not allowed in there. Okay, that's great. Now, if I put them all in the gym and I try to start the level, it's like, maybe not. Okay, let's try this. Okay, cool. Now, the next thing we have to consider is like, how do we actually make these rooms do the thing that they do? Okay. So the observation deck is a place where characters can heal. Okay. So I think I already have an idea for that one. So currently, if we go to our player manager, I have here apply health regen for all. So it essentially goes through all the characters and applies the health regen, right? And it does this every 5 seconds, right? That's okay. So we're going to change this so that health regen doesn't occur in here anymore. So let's just, for now, I'm going to do that. And we're going to go to our waiting room. And we're essentially going to take the observation deck and we're going to give it a function like apply, like this one, apply room effects, right? Right, a new apply room effects. And the idea would be is that it's going to go and check if any character is inside of it, right? So something like this actually. It's pretty much the same type of idea. So we're going to go through every character and we're just going to ask, are you in any of our slots? We just add a third slot. So if the character slot is in fact any one of the observation deck slots, that means we can do something. Right, and in this case, what we want to do is we want to go current health. Let's just see how exactly I did this with the player manager. So we went, we actually didn't do that. We went get component character stat manager, apply health regen. Okay. So there's just a function like that. So we just apply the health regen to the character. Okay, so now only when you are sitting in this nice comfy chair, something got broken here. Okay, so only when you're in the observation deck do you gain health at the base rate. So apply current health, apply health regen. I might want to augment this so that when there are certain upgrades or things happening, your health regen can be higher or lower. But now, for now, this is just going to literally go and it's going to check if you have lost any health. So if you are below your max health, it'll get your health regen and then current health will be incremented by your health regen. And technically, since we get it there, we don't need to do this every time, right? We already have the health regen, so we can just do this. Yeah. Okay, so here we do, if it's the selected character, we apply health regen, else we apply health regen. That doesn't make any sense. It made sense in my head back in the day because I wanted to do an extra check here, but actually we can just do apply the health regen, right? If it's greater than 0, just apply it. And then what we can do in the future is we can actually have apply health regen take an argument like let's say a modifier of some kind, and that modifier would be dependent on who's calling it, right? So the waiting room calls it, but it doesn't really do anything significant, right? It just applies the character's own health regen, so it's just the base rate. However, the we need to do we'll apply the room effects now. But yeah, so that's the idea, right? So we could have an integer here. So let's say it's the massage clinic or whatever. We could build it in a way that when we apply the room effects, it actually takes the some kind of a an integer or a float or whatever that's a modifier to the health regen. Well, it doesn't have to take it there, it just has to do it there. So apply health regen can do that. Okay, and then we can augment the health regen by that amount. Alright, so now this is the only place that health regen happens. So they kind of have to be in the observation room, chilling out to be able to regen health. Is that a good idea? I kind of like that idea because, look, the way the game works, I need to enforce the whole resting mechanic, right? So I think it's not a bad idea to have the players rest the specific characters, right? Okay, so for now, this is good enough. In the future, we might be able to upgrade certain slots. So you might have a slot that's actually now a comfy recliner, for instance. And in that case, that slot could, improve the regen somewhat. Okay. But for now, they're all the same, so we just put them in one big if statement. But in the future, we could say that certain slots might have different effects. So if it's in slot 1, we need to check if that slot is an upgraded slot or not. So I think that's how I'm going to work with it. I'm going to have upgraded slots potentially, so slots can have levels, and depending on the slot level, the effect will change, right? We'll see how we get there. Okay, so let's just make the room effect get applied. So right here, okay, so the timer is just for okay, so previously our health regen was happening every 5 seconds. You know what? Maybe we do. Yeah, maybe we do it so that the health regen can be applied every second. Right, so we do observation deck dot apply room effects. Right, so every second it'll apply the health regen. Okay. So let's just save that and check if that's the case. Okay, so I think this is just going to work. So you won't be able to regen anymore if you are not on the in the observation deck at all. So let's just choose somebody that has some health regen. So he has 1 health regen, 0.5, 0.5, and 0. Okay. So technically Joel would be able to regen health. So let's put Joel in. Now I don't want him to die, so let's not kill the poor bird. Let's just make him take some damage. Now we might make it so that health regen can still happen in the game, right? But to a lesser extent perhaps. So we might say something like, you know what, you get some health regen still in game, or some percentage, but it's much higher if you are not fighting, right? Okay, let's just see. Because it might feel bad for tanky characters that the only time you get health regen is when you're sitting on the... But that might be good, because then health makes more sense in some sense, right? Okay, cool. So you go there. Okay, you go there. And let's just click on the ranger so we can check her current health, right? So her health regen is 0.5, so it's nothing amazing, but it is going to be applied every second, so we should see... Yeah. There we go. So she's healing nicely. I suppose this guy has a... Well, there's always a 15% chance of dropping one of those, right? So it's not like he's super lucky or anything. It's just how it goes. But it does feel like he gets way more runes than the other ones. He's comparatively more lucky. Okay, good. So she healed by about 20-ish health, right? So 40 seconds. Yeah, seems about right. That seems about correct. Oh, man. Okay, so let's check the chicken. So he's got very high health regen, 6, right? So let's use him for that. Oh. Let's put everybody there. What is this? A bunch of passive strength stuff. It's garbage. That's what it is. Let's go there. Yeah, my runes are not good at all. Ugh. These blue totems are the bane of my existence when I play with the knight. Hey! Look at that. Okay, you can actually see that the... Okay, so obviously the Robin's health did increase again, and she actually gained experience still, because that's kind of still a problem. I don't actually want them to gain experience if they're not in here. Okay, so let's see. Okay, these guys are fully healed. She's not, so let's put her there. So she's going to go fight. He's going to heal now, so we can just click on the Chicken Knight. So we should see the current health for the Chicken Knight just skyrocketing, right? Yeah, no, it's ridiculous. Oh my word, I can't believe it. even with 500% Luckaroonies. Okay, there we go. Oh, it's a blue totem. Let's shoot it from far away. Oh damn, I'm almost dead. And the chicken is fully healed. Yeah, go figure. Go figure. You know. Okay, cool. So chicken heals nicely. Let's put him there. Let's see what we have here. Less damage, but more. It doesn't feel very good, right? Even with the additional health, regen, and armor and stuff like that. It's still... Yeah, these items are terrible. All my items are bad. Ooh-wee. Okay. Let's go back. Okay, so the next thing would be experience, right? So you should only be able to gain experience if you are in the observation deck, right? So let's go see how we are currently gaining experience. So if I'm remembering this correctly, I don't actually remember this at all, but it's got something to do with enemies dying. Maybe it's in the character manager. Let's see. Character manager? Not there. Character data? Probably not. It wouldn't be here. Okay, but at least we're doing it like that, so we can go check. Okay, so there's the character stat manager. Okay, so that just gets... Oh no, this is where experience is gained, right? So gain experience with wisdom. So this is called in the progression manager. Okay, yeah. So this is called every time somebody dies. Okay. So here we have to check something, right? First, we need to check the we need to get if it's the selected character. Okay. So if we have the selected character gaining experience, that's fine. We just get character experience plus experience gain multiplied by 1 plus your wisdom over 100, right? That's not a problem. Now, here's where the problem comes in, right? So the guys on the bench will gain experience based on the level difference. If you have a level difference, you can gain experience. If you don't have a level difference, you can't, right? But we should also make it so that you need to pass a separate check, which is, are you actually in okay, so this is where it gets a bit weird, right? Because there's no good connection between the various rooms and my characters, right? Because if you remember, the way the UI works, or the level prep, is we create a new character here, which has a reference to the game object, and that's fine. And it does know which slot it's in. It's just not like the character game object where this character stat manager is attached to. It doesn't actually know any of this information. Right, so that's, you know, kind of a thing. So we need to somehow be able to have these linked in a way. Or there needs to be a way for either the character stat manager to easily check where it is in, right? So, because, I mean, getting the applying stats, that's fine, right? Applying room effects is not a problem. But this is a different one, right? Because it's like, are you inside of the observation deck at the moment? Yes or no? So we need to figure out how we want to do this. Okay. So the character would know which slot it is in. So here's my idea. We could have a room type, right? So we could do something like a public enum room type. All right. And we can even put this just straight in waiting room, for instance. So we have something called a room type. Right, and we have different rooms, but let's say one of the rooms is just the observation deck, right? So we have the observation deck as a room type. Okay, and then in here we have a public room type. Okay, so the room knows what type it is. Okay. Now, can we potentially figure out, based on the slot, can we do slot, so let's go slot 1, no, parent, not quite, right? So slot 1, so we can get an element, we can get a bunch of stuff, but we don't know what type of room this slot is in. Okay, so if we want to figure that out, we could go to the slot, and we can tell the slot, yo, you need to know what room type you are in, right? So we could do that. We can say that it knows public. It's going to be a waiting room dot room type. Okay, so something like that. Yeah, this doesn't feel good, but anyway. Okay. So when you create a new slot, we can give it a room type. So let's say we have a default. Right, we have observation deck. We got a gym. We have a revive station. Okay. So the room type is nothing essentially, is on start. But right here we can say that the room, or let's just do type equals room type dot observation deck in this case, right? So we can set the type, and then when we add the slots, we can say room type is equal to type. Okay, we might even make it so that this is a requirement when you create a new slot. Maybe. Okay. So, but now the slots will have a room type. Yeah, something like that. We can even do, okay, so we could give the gym a type as well. This is a gym. And we can give this guy a type as well. This is a revive station. Okay. And then, like the revive station, we could even say that, okay, so slot 1 dot room types just equal to type. And then slot 2 room type is equal to type. Okay. So this is fine. So now the slots actually have a type. Okay. And if we want, I think in character data, we need to keep track of what room the character is in. Yeah. So stats to track, we do something like a public waiting room dot room type room or yeah, let's just say current room. Okay, so we just need to figure out which room we are in, and all we just need to do every time we go to a slot. Okay, so let's see if we can figure this out. Level prep UI. So every time we change a slot, so when we click a slot, all of this stuff happens. And our character is actually changing. Yeah. Change current slot. So what we should do in this is go game object dot get component. Whoopsie. Get component of type character data, and then we set, well, we take the current room and we set it equal to, let's see, a new slot dot room type. Right. And over here we do, well, current slot dot room type. So that would be a default slot. And, well, default slot dot room type equals default. Yeah. Yeah. We could even just do this one as. Okay. So now, as we go and change slots, we would also always change to whatever our room type, the room type is of the slot. Okay. This is a bit crazy. I think I could have structured this a bit better. Okay, but now at least in our character data, we should be able to check for the current room. Right? And what that means is inside of our character stat manager, when we do this, we can do... Okay, we can check if the level... Okay, we can calculate the level. We don't even have to calculate the level initially. So we could just do... For this specific character, we can just check if... Okay, so we are inside... Do we have access to our character data over here? I think we do. Yes, we do. So if character data dot current room is equal to... Okay, so we want the observation deck. So if we are in the observation deck, we can do all this stuff, right? So we can calculate the level difference and give him some experience based on the level difference. Okay. So that helps. So that works with the experience. So then we can also... I don't know if this is going to be... I think this is good. I think this is a requirement because the room type will affect different things. I just don't think it's going to actually affect many things because a lot of these, like the health regen, gets applied. That's fine, but it's applied by the room at this point. And a lot of these other things are not really applied by the room. This is kind of the only one. So this whole room type thing that I just did is essentially only going to be, if I really think about it, it's only going to be relevant for gain experience. Yeah, so maybe we didn't have to do it like this at all. Huh. Yeah, we probably didn't have to do it like this at all. Because the other rooms are going to affect the character more directly, I think. I don't know. Yeah, it's complicated, right? But we could have just passed this. So gain experience. It could be like, okay, if you are the played character, just gain experience. Otherwise, go check with the observation deck. So we could just hit this back to the observation deck, for instance, and ask it, yo, is there somebody in this room? If there is, give them this experience. Okay, well, this is called per character, so we can just pass it back there and check, yo, is this guy in there? Which is kind of what I do here anyway. So I just make the character aware of what room it's in. I mean, this sounds reasonable, at least in terms of how it's working. So the character should kind of have an idea what room it is currently in, right? That doesn't feel bad, that the character knows what room it's in. Okay, we should just also make sure that all the rooms now have something like a room type. So the default rooms do have a room type now. Where else do we create a slot? And do we set the slot? I think the next level slot is maybe the only one. So we create a new slot here. So we can do next level slot dot room type equals. Okay, we don't actually have a room type. Okay, most of these don't do anything, but at least they are set. Okay, we can quickly test this. Okay, one benefit this does give me is if while playing the game, if I move them around, whoopsie. Create default room slot. Wait, what does it not find now? So we ran this default room slot. Okay. I think it's this. So the character data might not be there yet. Okay. Yeah, so maybe we can just do character data. And so current room is equal to default. So we just start everybody in the default room and then we can change it from there. Okay. See if that changes anything. Okay, obviously it's going to be upset at me. Let's just do this. Okay, no problems. And if I click on any of the characters, we can see their current room is just default, right? So if I click on you, you are the ranger. Click on the ranger, put her there, put her there. Oh, the gym doesn't have a room type. Okay, that's okay. Observation deck, observation deck, observation deck. If I click on you, put you there, put you there, put you there. Okay, so let's see. So we have the owl, and only the knight and the ranger will go up in levels. The duck is just gonna sit in the gym in the weight section and get swole. Yeah, so let's actually kill a couple of these oaks so I can get nice and experienced. Are they getting stuck on the coins, actually? I just realized they might be getting stuck on the coins. Yeah, look at that. So these guys obviously leveled up with my owl. But this guy kind of got left behind now. Okay. So that works out nicely. Okay, and now if I go next level and I put the chicken there and this guy I put in the cardio section, I start the level. So if we click on the wizard, we should see he doesn't gain experience. Yeah, no, his current experience remains 0. Well, it would have remained 0 anyway because of the level difference, I guess. Yeah. Okay, and he also didn't gain any health. Okay, cool. So things are kind of working out here. Okay, so generally speaking, the observation deck is doing its thing. It's allowing characters to gain experience when they are in there. but not when they are anywhere else. And we can still return our characters to this section if we really want to. This is just like a temporary place for them if there's no other place for them to go, right? Because obviously all the sections for all of the areas are unlocked already, so we don't have that problem. Now, in the future, the gym might be locked, the observation deck might only have one seat when you start the game, so one guy can go observe, the other guy goes fight, the other two stays in this default area where nothing happens, right? Okay. What else do we need to do now? I think we need to implement the gym. Okay, so the gym needs to actually change something about these characters. So let's stop and let's go to the gym. Okay, we need to be in the waiting room so we can get to the gym. Okay, so the gym is going to be a little bit interesting because we also apply room effects for the gym, right? So we need this guy. Okay. So what do? Now we have different slots in the gym. We have a cardio slot and we have a weight section. Now, let's see. So I think I'm just going to approach it very similar to how I did this one. So I'll go through all the characters and we'll just check if they are in any specific slot, right? So we'll go through all the characters and we can just check if their slots. Okay, so let's do this one. So if their current slot is either the cardio section 1 or cardio section 2, right? We do something. Right, we can do something and then we can continue, right? To the next character. Yeah? And then we can do a if they are actually in the weight section for some reason. We could do something else. Now, I'm not entirely sure what exactly I want to affect here, but it's going to be something like cardio would need to change the character's speed. And I could change this in the future, but effectively we want to go to character data. And let's just see. We have an upgrade character data by some amount, right? So we have a value and we have a amount, right? So we can get the data or we can upgrade that specific stat. So we just need a stat and we need a float. Okay, so we can do character dot game object dot get component of character data dot upgrade character data by an amount. So the stat we need, so let's say we do movement speed here, and the amount will be 0.005 F. A super small amount, right? And the idea would be, so let's think about this. How this is very complicated, right? Because I don't have any idea how balanced this is, right? If it's 0.5, that's probably ridiculously overpowered. So there's a lot of things I need to consider when putting somebody in this. So 0.05, so that means, so if I apply that upgrade every second, so let's say a cardio session is 30 seconds. So I can think about things to do that'll give us 1.5 movement speed. So what we could do is we could say that, if if you did a 30-second cardio session, obviously you didn't gain any health or experience or anything like that, but you gained a 1.5 movement speed. That doesn't seem too bad, depending on how other things are balanced, right? So 1.5 movement speed is quite a lot. Now, if we go look at our movement speed currently, just the stat in general. So if we go to our scriptable objects and we look at our stats. So let's go to movement speed, right? So the movement speed can be upgraded by 0.1, 0.2, and 0.3. So that's very little for a whole skill point. Okay. So if you can go 1.5, that's a lot for one of these skill points. Now, if you have the duck, he increases the amount that you can upgrade this with. So the duck will have, let's say the duck has 100% passive effect strength. That would give him double whatever these upgrades are. So even with a duck with double, it's 0.2 most of the time and 0.3 in very seldom cases. Okay, so 0.6, right? If you have 2 ducks, it doubles it again and it stacks, so it goes to 1.2. So being on the treadmill will give you an equivalent to 2 ducks stacking a level 3 upgrade. That's too strong. In 30 seconds, right? So I think this is too much. So let's make it 0.01. So then in 30 seconds you get 0.3, which is a high upgrade amount, but it's not ridiculous, right? So that's okay. Now let's think about the weight section. Okay, we can just copy this. So for that character, which stat do we want to affect in the weight section? Okay. So I kind of like the idea of doing things like maximum health potentially. Right, that one makes sense, at least somewhat. Right, so if we change the maximum health, now maximum health is a little bit different. We could do this as increments of 1 every second. So every second in the weight section would give you a max health increase of 1. Now, again, we need to consider this in terms of what exactly the max health upgrades are. Yes. So 30 seconds gives you 30 health. So that's right up there with the upgrade values. So that makes it okay, I think. Right. Obviously, I'm adding... these are significant... these mechanics are quite complicated to balance, right? So I have so many things working together now. I need to go sit down and write them all down and be able to look at all the numbers simultaneously and figure out what I want to make them, so that I can balance the game more precisely. But for now, this is what it's going to be for the gym. Okay? So at least the gym does something, right? Okay, and then we can simply do this every second again. So that's kind of nice. We're keeping everything per second. So we could just go to the gym, apply room effects, and there we go. Now what we could do is we could actually put all these rooms into a list and then just go find the room effects and apply it, in a loop instead. Now I might have to do that because eventually there could be a time in a day when I want to have the special rooms, right? So the other 3 rooms, so I want more room types eventually. And they're going to be special rooms, and those rooms will have special effects, or maybe enhanced effects, or they change other stats, right? So these 2 are very basic stats that can be changed. Now, what we also need to consider is that one day I want to upgrade these slots so they are more effective, right? So there might be a situation where I might have a treadmill basically as the first level, and then like a stairmaster, and then like some rowing machine or something, right? And then each level will gain, so the slot will gain levels, and then depending on the level of the slot, the effect will be better, or maybe multiple effects, right? So at some point the gym might be a very good place to be. Right, I kind of want that possibility, right? So if you think about it, it's kind of what would be cool, right, is if you could do a run. Okay, so let's say we're doing a run, we have our revive station, it is what it is. We have our observation deck, so these things are already here. But let's say you have a run where you're like, you know what, I'm not going to worry about the observation deck. So you're going to let it be what it wants to be. I am going to worry about the gym. I'm just going to level up the gym max. Right, so I'm going to get the best equipment, going to make all the slots available, because my guys are going to sit in the gym every single round. Now, if they die, they obviously need to go to the revive station, which is unfortunate. But if that happens, that's fine. Then they go to the revive station, and I will level up the revive station as well. And there may be a couple of other special rooms, for instance. But you could make a playthrough where you do, I'm going to go 100% into the gym, spend all the money you get, all your coins, on gym upgrades, and maybe items that you put in your storage room. So you don't even unlock the other 3 rooms. Right? So that's why there should be upgrades and level ups and stuff like that. I don't want there to necessarily be... it's difficult, right? But you need to give the players a reason to invest in certain things, right? And if there's no reason to invest in the gym, they won't. Also, what I don't want is for there to be like 20 slots available, and you kind of get analysis paralysis, if that makes sense. So that, you know, if you only have 3 characters, so one character goes into the next level slot, you have 3 more characters, and there's 20 available slots to put them in. That kind of feels bad as well. It's like, why do I even have this room? I never use it, right? So that's the other thing we need to think about, right? Okay, so let's just try this. Let's see if the gym actually works. So our observation deck works, our revive station works. Let's see if the gym works. And if it does, we can move on to the next thing. Okay, so there's our gym. So if I put slow bird in the cardio section, weak bird in the weight section, I put the duck there, and I put the dumb bird in the observation deck. So now I should see the knight gain experience. I should see the wizard gain movement speed, the ranger max health, and then the ninja is obviously just going to fight. So let's see. Ranger, you currently have... where's your max health? 175 health. And the wizard currently has 7.5 movement speed, right? So after this first level, this one should go up to 205, and this one should go up to 7.8. So let's go see. Because it's a 32nd level, right? Okay. Here. Okay, so he gained levels along with this guy, so that's nice. Did you go faster? No. That may be wrong. Okay, let's check it over here. Oh wait, we can't see it over here. Damn. Okay, it seems like it didn't work, but I think it might just be a UI problem. If I'm honest. This might just be a UI problem. So let's see if your health is in fact higher. When would this up? I think this might trigger when I get hit. Or not. So maybe it just doesn't work. This is unfortunate. I don't know why it didn't work. Yeah, okay, now something is not working. Oh, that's unfortunate. So let's see. Apply room effects. Oh, I didn't save the script. My flippin' greatness. Okay. Shall we try again? Okay, let's just do the same thing. Slow bird, dumb bird, fight bird. Okay, so slow bird, are you faster? No. Weak bird. Okay, so this might be a UI thing because this UI did update. This UI didn't update. So it seems like she did gain health, but this one didn't. The UI is not updating. Okay. So let's go over here. So if I click on you over here, yeah, this one updates. Yeah. Okay, cool. So we did actually go a bit higher. That is good. That is good. Okay, let's leave them in there. Let's see. Okay, so we just need to see why the level up UI doesn't really show you the whole picture. I think it's just when the update is called. I think I only update that UI. So I updated obviously when I create it initially. And then I update the text whenever an upgrade is clicked, which is good, but now there's another way of changing the text, right? So we need to consider that as well. Not just clicking upgrades. Die. Okay, so he gained a lot of levels. He didn't. So let's just go click on the knight. Okay, I think it's because his experience just kind of is teetering out. Right, remember the experience required changes as you go higher, right? And the level gap is not as big, so there's a bunch of things affecting the amount of experience he gains, so that could be why it's going slower. What's this doing? Critical chance, critical damage, luck, health. Ooh. Okay, so this is interesting, right? So if I take this bird and I give her this, right, her health has now obviously decreased significantly. Yeah. Okay, so now it's just 99. Let's put him in the cardio section. Let's leave him on the observation deck. He needs to rest. These two are in cardio because they slow. This guy, Stacy, no, this is Joel, is going to go fight for us. So Joel is now, he lost a bunch of, or she lost a bunch of, I don't know, a bunch of attack health because I wanted more critical chance. Ooh. Oh, I'm almost dead. Okay, let's just not die. I did it. I didn't die. Okay, nice. So this guy, even though he didn't really level up, he did heal, and that's nice. Okay, so I think you need to go to the observation deck. Are you faster? Yes. How much faster are you now? Ooh, lekker. Okay. Okay, so we want everybody on the observation deck. Yeah, let's give him more movement speed. Go. So this is now a quick owl because we've been in the gym for 3 levels. Very good. I kind of like that, right? It's kind of cool. Doesn't really have a lot of experience. But it is an owl. So, you know, experience gain is not really a problem. I got another one. Just do a little bit of a spin to win burn here. You see, this feels good. Like, even if he just had the movement speed section of the gym, this is nice. Now, I don't think the weightlift section is currently that good, mainly because the items are too powerful with their debuffs. Ooh, let's get some luck. No need more movement speed, right? We took care of it, so let's do passive strength. And more luck, I guess. Oh, attack speed, however, that's pretty nice. So we should have a way of upgrading that, I think. Spell damage. Let's go. Lifesteal. Okay, so let's see. I'm just fiddling with the UI, kind of feeling it out. So switching characters around, that's nice, but you never get to select a character because it always switches them around. So you kind of have to figure out which one you want to do. Yeah, maybe I just need to add some visual flair so that people know what's going to happen when they click on something. Okay, let's do this. So Joel is fully healed somehow. More luck, but pretty much just gonna die. Okay. Let's see. So, yeah, why not? Let's put it there. So now we got... Eesh. Okay, a lot of luck. No armor. Quite a bit of damage. No health regen, so you can't heal apart from lifesteal, which I have a little bit of. That's okay. Okay, let's try this. Yeah, we're not going to be able to heal anyway because we are way above our maximum health, so... Slap, slap, slap. Yeah, you can only heal when you don't have... There's no such thing as overhealing. Or maybe there should be. I don't know. It could be something. We could make it that you can overheal from lifesteal, but only from lifesteal. That would be kind of interesting. Okay, so here's... Okay, so this is where you have to kind of think about what decisions you're making. Okay, so first of all, this wasn't updated because his health regen is not that, right? Okay, so this character stats really needs to be updated more frequently because it doesn't take into consideration items that I just added. Yeah, so this is broken. It doesn't take into consideration the gym or items added. It only does it when you click here. So if I know now I have like negative 30 health regen, right, or negative 50. So adding 1 is not going to make a difference. Critical damage could be better. So if I click that, yeah, you can see. It then updated. So now I can see everything. But yeah, that's kind of bad. Same with... It's basically the same with everything. Like if you want to make an informed decision, you first need to click on somebody and then... yeah, it's not as good. Okay. So yeah, you go here. You go to the weight section. I think... Oh wow, you actually got a lot of extra HP. Oh, it's because the levels are longer, right? So they actually do get quite a bit more. Okay, let's put you there so you can heal up. And how fast are you? 9. We'll leave you there for let's let him cook. Let's let him cook. So basically we took this guy, we gave him 2 items that give him... that reduces his survivability, right? It reduces his maximum health considerably. But now we're going to let him cook here for a bit so he can get some of that health back. So you can counteract G's like that. This guy never has to go back to the cardio section. This is ridiculous. He's way too fast now. Oh, it is Komodo time, I see. Okay, Komodo time has arrived. Fortunately, I'm super quick. I am the speediest owl in all the land. Get flamethrowered. Nice. Okay. Ooh, attack speed plus 30%. Don't mind if I do. Some lifesteal is not bad here. Some more life steal. Some more life steal. Okay, I see what's going on here. I see what's going on here. So actually, what is the life steal? 6% already. Jeez. And the thing with the wizard is 6% of 25 with the massive area of effect. It's not bad. Okay, Joel, how's it going? Okay, you got full HP now, so that's good. Because you do have enough. What is your health regen? Yeah, 2.5. That's a lot. Critical chance. Oh, we could do that. Some spell damage. Yeah, why not? That seems good. Nice. Okay, cool. So I want this guy to go sit there and rest. I want you to come out. So let's just check what you're doing. 135. You can cook a little bit more. Rob, how fast are you? Very quick. Let's put you in there. You also are strong enough. You don't even need to go to the weight section. So let's do this. Okay. So I've basically worked my way out of the negative effect of that one item for this guy. And the duck is going to go through the same type of metamorphosis. Yes, I should really get away to increase your... I wonder if we can make like a blacksmith or something like that, or a smithing station or something like that, an item, or a room that allows you to just hone your weapons. Yeah, that would be kind of cool. But we should make it so that... Yeah, I'm just thinking out loud here. We should make it so that, yes, that is a thing, but it only benefits characters with a physical weapon. So it won't benefit the owl, for instance, because he's a magician. That'd be kind of cool. We could also make a library. Maybe. And the library could benefit people that do magical damage. So they can study and improve their skills. I'm getting all kinds of ideas here. Let's put those down somewhere. So let's go here. Let's just go into our brainstorming. Okay. So we can have like a smithy or a blacksmith, which upgrades weapons. So this would be only physical, right? Then we can have a library, which upgrades magical damage, or something like that, right? We could even have something like a range, like an archery range, right? This improves, increases, let's say, attack speed for ranged characters. That's pretty cool. Then we could have a dueling, or like a boxing ring, something like that, right? And this could do something like increases attack speed for melee characters. And something like that. We could even do... the juices are flowing. What if we... yoga. Studio. This could maybe increase like your dexterity in some way. So, increases dodge. chance. Right. Something like that. What else could we do that's interesting? I want a way to increase your critical... Yeah, so if we go think about all our stats... What am I missing here? So damage, we just got one, like a Smithy or something like that. Movement speed, that's the gym. Attack speed, that's the range or the boxing ring, depending on the type of build you're going. Max health, the gym. Critical damage and chance. Maybe we increase those in the range and like the Smithy or something like that. So maybe we can say that, okay, if you go to the range, your accuracy increases along with your movement speed. Right? We can even have upgrades for the range that changes the one versus the other, for instance. So we could get to a point where maybe both of them upgrade simultaneously. Maybe the one more than the other, whatever. So that could happen at the range or the boxing ring, for instance. But your critical damage is going to be dependent on the weapon. Yeah, that makes sense. Dodge chance, we got that one. Armor. This could be interesting. This might be in the Smithy as well, right? Health regen, I don't think there's anything. So since health is only regened in the observation deck, I think if you just have something like a vending machine or better chairs there, that would be upgraded. Lifesteal, also, I don't know. It's a funny one, I don't really know. Luck, straight scavenging. Wisdom, you could say the library. Yeah, we'll think about it. We got some. We got some ideas, right? Okay. Oh, we're actually still playing the game. All right, let's continue. Okay, so let's see. What is your health at? That's nice. Okay, unfortunately, you are a bit battered, so let's just take you out. You are very battered, so these guys need to rest. So you resting, you resting, you resting. So the only guy who really can do anything now is the chicken. Let's see, this thing increases max health and armor. Basically negates all your other stats. I don't like that. Luck, get rid of your armor. But gives you 100% more luck. I mean, that's kind of a thing, I guess, but let's not worry about it. Let's just go play without it. You need a damage upgrade, that's for sure. Yeah, so I think essentially how I'm thinking about the game at the moment is there are some things that happen randomly, obviously, and that you need that randomness in some way. Like when you level up, right? Just leveling up is not always enough because you get random upgrades. And some of them might be bad, right? But you should upgrade, right? You can't just not level up, right? So you take one of the 3 ones. If you get 3 shitty ones, then it's unfortunate, right? But that happens sometimes. You can also get very lucky and get a super good upgrade. So the idea would be then, that's random. Item drops are random, but you get to choose whether or not you want to apply the item. And I think that also makes a difference. So I need to balance the items, obviously, so that they are actually worthwhile, because most of them are kind of shit. But the idea would be that you can choose to equip an item, or you could just say, you know what, I'm just gonna... That's like, this chicken is just not dying. I'm just gonna sell the item for gold, right? And then you have something that you have 100% control over. You have 100% control over. So those are very much the random aspect. But you have all the control you need over the party you select, right? That's just something you decide at the start of the game. You say, I am playing with the chicken and the robin and 2 ninjas, right? 2 ducks. You decide that at the start, okay? That's fine. So that's something that's not random. It's determined by your choice. And that's great. The other thing that's not random is going to be... Just like it. That's incredible. Is going to be this room, right? You get to change this room in whatever way you want. You have access to a shop, you get coins, and you can just go and make the room whatever you want to make it. So if you feel like you want to invest in the gym, you can. If you feel like you want to invest in the observation deck, you can. If you want to invest in the revive station or equip 3 rooms that you like, you can. So you have complete control over how you want to make this room work. And I think that's kind of cool. Okay, let's see what we have. Joel, full health. Stacy, yeah, you're struggling a bit. Your health regen is very low. You are actually not regening health at all. I didn't even realize that. You have negative health regen. So that means this is a waste of time, putting you in the observation deck. Especially now. Maybe previously it wouldn't have been. What is your life steal? 1%. That doesn't sound too good. Okay, let's just take Joel. Rob can go rest, and Joel can go fight. So I can get more items. Maybe there's a good one. The problem now is this guy can't regen health anymore. He can still gain experience, I guess. We can also make him... He's very fast already. He's got enough health. Let's put... Since he's not gaining experience anyway, he's also not healing, we might as well put him in the gym, right? So he can get buff. Stacy can still heal, so we'll leave Stacy there. And Rob can still heal, so we'll leave him there as well. Now, yeah, this is kind of where it gets funny, right? Rob has 500 HP, which is very good. He only regens 1 health per second, though, so... Yeah, he's not going to get there, right? And these won't help. That increases your max health and armor. Yeah. Okay, let's go see what we can scavenge with our lucky duck. It's not a duck. It's a robin. Okay, that one is... I think it's movement speed. Mostly. Eesh. Okay, these... Now, the green one again. I want the red one. The red one gives me life steal. If I want the duck to be involved, I'm gonna need some life steal. Oh yes, this is gonna end badly. Okay. Oh no, we died. Oh shit. The 2 green ones and a flippin'. My word. Okay, this one gives me an insane amount of dodge, chance, and movement speed. So maybe we go... Do we go dodge, chance, duck? I mean, yeah. Yeah, we don't want to reduce his attack or anything like that. So it's gonna be the dodge, chance, duck. Let's go. At least I'm fast. Now I do damage. But I can't really take damage. If any of these guys hit, I'm stuffed. I do heal a little bit, but not a ton. My life steal. Oh, that was a proper carpet bombing. Yee. Okay, the dodge trance is working. We did it. We did it. Well done. Well done, guys. Well done. Okay, let's see what else we can get here. So, I know critical damage is not a bad idea. Let's just get that one. Doubling our lifesteal? That seems pretty good. More damage. You know what? Yes. The rest is not going to make a difference. I mean, you can get dodge trance, but you are dead last time I checked, Joel. Oh no, you revived. Okay, great. Joel got revived. Let's go put her there so she can heal up. Stacy, how's it going? You're getting there. Rob's also getting there. I think I'm going to start the next level with Stacy. Mr. Duckman, your health regen is very bad, so there's no real point. Okay, you know what? Stacy can still regen health, right? So let's put Stacy back in the observation deck. Let her get as healthy as possible, and we'll just work on luck for the next encounter, which is the boss fight. Hoa, hoa, hoa. Dodged, bruh. Okay, I'm annihilating this guy right now. Look at my health, because I got double my... Oh wait, my health's not going up. I'm missing something, yeah? Why is it showing? Oh, I'm clicked on Stacy. I should be... This level is a bit broken or something. I don't know what's happening here. What is this totem? Oh, it's a blue totem. I'm the quickest duck in the world. Let's go assassinate these totems before they become a problem. Hey, a black one. Jeez. Okay, this duck is ridiculous. He's just killing everybody right now. Okay, so this one gives you a lot of health regen. You know what? Rob, you want to take over? Let's go. Oh no. Okay, that's a nav mesh problem. I need to figure out why that happens. Just die. I'm slowly but surely dying. Okay, are these warnings being cleared? Okay, okay. The spawning is happening somewhere else, I guess. Yeah, I think that's the problem. Oh, geez, yeah, a bunch of enemies fell through the floor. They're spawning on this side. And then they try to walk over and then they fall down. And then it's like freaking out because it can't create the nav mesh. They can't get connected to the nav mesh because obviously they're too far away. I see. I understand. Okay, he died, so he's in the revive station right now. Yeah, we can't put him anywhere else. We can only put him back there if we really wanted. But he won't get revived. Okay. So, 30 seconds in there. Who's going to take over? Stacy? Let's go. Yeah, I mean, this guy's pretty much dead already. Oh, yes. Hey! What was that sound? I just heard a strange sound. Eh? Who knows? Okay, cool. What was that sound? Where did it come from? It was when I... Okay, yes, I remember now. So when the crocodile dies, he wipes out everything on the level. So he destroys all the totems, and he destroys the enemies that are still alive. And there were obviously totems here that, as you can see, they got destroyed. All of the other totems were destroyed, right? This one, all these ones. Yeah, look, they're still falling down. These ones. And what I heard was one of the totems actually dropped an item when they got destroyed, yeah. Yippity-doo-dah. That is exactly it. Okay, cool. Okay, so we got a bunch of levels because Stacy was the killer. Great stuff. Now, if we clear this. So this is only a boss level problem. Because he spawns enemies a little bit strangely, so that is something that can happen. The falling off of the world thing, right? Yeah. Slice, slice, slice. Hey, hey, hey. Okay, yeah, the level is just very short now. Okay, cool. But we did it. So let's just end it there. Okay, what were some of my problems? I can't remember my problems. Okay, I'll think about it while I go grab some coffee. I'll see you guys in a minute or two. Let me just go grab a drink. And one of those, I need to go away and mute myself. Okay, see you in 2 minutes. I'm back. And I remembered the bug that I wanted to fix. Okay, so it was the more character stats, specifically the more character stats in the character level up screen, right? So it updates as soon as. So let's go to the character level up. So in our UI, level prep, character, this one. Right, so, damn, there's so much stuff here. But anyway, basically the problem is, okay, we create the character stats, that happens, we update character stats, right? So this gets called obviously on creating and then somewhere else. So down here, when we show the UI, update character stats, so what does this do then? It says it updates the character stats for each character. It clearly doesn't. Or it doesn't in the way that I would think it does. So upgrade character stats. Okay, I see. So this is not exactly what I needed to do. This updates the level ticks, the skill points, and the kill count, right? I mean, that's nice, but that's not what I need. I need the more character stats to be updated. Okay. So when we apply up this, we do... Yeah, so maybe we just run this here. So right there. Boom. Just like that. Okay, so now when the UI gets shown, it updates it first so that we can see the new updated values. Now, let's just check it quickly. That's a very straightforward fix, right? This shouldn't break anything. It might break something. There's a potential. There's always the potential that something breaks. It didn't. Okay, so let's just try it. So, very simple. Put them there. Let's put the duck. Okay, 225, yeah. 500. Let's put everybody in the gym. And you're going to get items, right? So, everybody's in the gym, and this guy over here is going to get some items. Do a backflip. Shoot that thing once. Pick up the item before I forget. Okay. Okay, so you got some skills. Okay, so let's see. You should have more health, and you do. Same with you. And you should be faster, and you are. Okay. Perfect. That works. Okay, and now if I apply the Talon brand, don't even know what this one does. I think I know what this one does. Oh, for crying out loud. Are you kidding me right now? So this one, I think it decreases your attack damage, but it increases your attack speed and critical chance. Now that's fine if it didn't decrease my damage all the way down to 0. Because now I'm, incapable of killing anything. I should make those coins fly faster, shouldn't I? I think so. Yeah, so Joel's attack damage is -2, so she does no damage. But at least it updated, right? So it did show. Which is good. Okay. That is all goodness. Okay, so next up, we should think about adding the other rooms, right? So that's one thing. We should make a room builder or something like that, or just some way to generate these rooms and put them in here. So that's the one thing we should do. And then we should work on the upgrades for the rooms to make it so that so first of all, the room slots that are available. So not all the slots are available from the start, especially for these rooms, right? When you unlock one of these, you get one slot by default, right? So if you get the observation deck, you get a single observation slot, right? You can upgrade it to 3, and same with the other ones. The gym, I think you start with a cardio section. I guess for the gym, we can make it so you can choose which one you want to unlock first, right? Ooh, maybe we can just make it like you click on it and it unlocks. Now, these ones, we need to build something different, right? You need to be able to build a room, and you need to be able to select which type of room you want to build. And then it comes with a slot already. You can't add more slots, but it comes with a slot. Yeah, I think so. Do I want to start that now? I don't think so. I think I'm going to end the stream there. Sorry about that. But yeah, we got quite a bit done today. And I think I'll think about this a bit more today. I'll see if I get into it maybe later. But yeah, it's fine. Yeah, the last 2 days I've been going way over time with the stream, so ending a bit earlier today I think is okay. So guys, thank you so much for joining me today. I am gonna get out of here and go do some other things. Yeah. So see you tomorrow. Cheers.